Welcome to Studio 5. We are taking you behind the scenes of the new film, I Still Believe. We're sampling some new sounds from Vertical Worship, and we're giving you a first look at the new film, I Am Patrick. That's all ahead, so let's get right to the countdown of this week's top 5 headlines in the world of uplifting entertainment. Here are the first 2.
At number 5.
Jeopardy host Alex Trebek has been fighting stage 4 pancreatic cancer for a year.
And Alex Trebek thanks God, his wife, and the power of prayer for sustaining him in this last year's battle. But he admits there were times he wanted to give up.
That would have been a massive betrayal. A betrayal of my wife and soulmate Jean, who has given her all to help me survive. It would have been a betrayal of other cancer patients who have looked to me as an inspiration and a cheerleader of sorts of the value of living and hope. And it would certainly have been a betrayal of my faith in God and the millions of prayers that have been said on my behalf.
At number 4. It's the red carpet and Hollywood's first look at Disney's live-action Mulan.
And this world premiere.
This is like an after party, you know, and I can't wait the world to see it because there's so much love, so much effort that all the filmmakers put in this movie.
I grew up watching Mulan as a kid, and it's one of my favorite Disney movies, so being able to be a part of something like this is really a dream come true.
This represents the richness and the beauty of Chinese culture and Chinese people.
You're going to have to wait just a little while to see Mulan. It won't be in theaters until March 27th.
That begins the countdown and brings us to what's new at the box office this week. Filmmakers Andrew Irwin and John Irwin brought us I Can Only Imagine, and they're taking on now the true life story of Christian music artist Jeremy Camp in I Still Believe. It follows Camp's journey of love and loss, and it proves there is always hope. Here's your Studio 5 first look.
I still believe in your faithfulness. I still believe in your truth.
So I'm playing Jeremy Camp, who is a real-life person.
I still believe in your holy word.
He has a crazy story to tell the world. It's a story about love, loss, and hope.
You brought your guitar.
Well, you asked me to.
Do you want to play for us?
Oh, no, I'm
All right, guys, we've got Jeremy Camp here.
Writing music and then sharing that hope in that and then portraying it through a movie is a very powerful tool.
Find me in the river. Find me on my knees.
The basis and the foundation of this film is about Jeremy and Melissa and the love between them and the battle that they go through together and how it affects the people around them, how it affects their faith.
Didn't count suffering. We didn't count on pain.
What if I'm not supposed to be healed?
Don't say that.
When you first read a script, you're trying to understand characters and who these people are and how they work. And one of the first scenes that I read was like this moment that she has that's so beautiful and it's so selfless.
The love is put to the test through what Melissa goes through and Jeremy, you know, sticking by her side the whole time. You know, he tells her throughout the movie, every step, every moment, I'm with you.
I want you to know that whatever this is, and wherever it takes us, that I'm with you. Every step, every moment, I'm with you. I'm in. I'm so in.
She wanted to have all the strength and she wanted to have the courage to endure something that would change people and would give them hope and faith. She's completely fulfilled in her heart and her soul.
Earlier this year, we had some tough news. Some really tough news.
Can we do something special for the most special person in my life tonight? Can we pray for her?
There's so many inspiring elements to it. The story is cool, the characters are beautiful, the music is amazing, it looks really good. There's so many things that people are going to be attracted to, but knowing that at the center of it, you have God and you have faith and you have all these things that you can attach yourself to. It's pretty cool, and I think it's gonna be really great for a lot of people who kind of need that.
What if this was my destiny?
Stop. You are the strong one, not me. All I have are questions. What am I supposed to do with that?
I didn't even really know what faith looked like until I did this movie, until I met Jeremy and learned about his story. I didn't know someone could have that much faith in God. And it's inspiring. It's seriously inspired me.
Even when I don't see, I still believe.
He's taken this really tragic experience and he's used it as like an opportunity to grow in his faith for the Lord and continue to share that message in hopes that it can do the same for other people.
You chose to walk into the fire with her. That's what love is.
It was emotional because it did such a good job and it felt so authentic and accurate. I think that's what was almost hard to watch. It felt so real that it brought back emotions. And you know, there's many times that I'd walk out because it was too emotional. Be like, okay, I'm all right. And I'd walk back and compose myself and just go, this is worth it. You know, it's worth it.
I keep thinking, if one person's life is changed by what I go through, it will all be worth it.
It's about feeling, it's about faith, it's about hope, love, loss, redemption, and God.
I Still Believe is in American theaters this Friday.
Still to come.
God in my seeking, God in my dreaming.
It's new music and a new message from Vertical Worship. At number 3.
Let's do this!
There's a friendly and public fitness fight brewing between television's Dr. Oz and actor Mark Wahlberg, and it's shining a bright light on Wahlberg's faith.
Mark Wahlberg's daily schedule is insane. At 2:30 a.m., his alarm clock goes off, and he starts his day with prayer.
Oh, you know, between my faith and my fitness, you know, and my family, those are the most important things in my life. That's how I start my day. I get on my hands and my knees. I thank God. I'm so grateful because I'm so blessed and fortunate. And then I figure, how do I utilize all those blessings and gifts to help others and inspire others and do all that stuff? And that's what keeps me going.
At number 2, it's the story of Madam C.J. Walker.
It's fabulous that she became a millionaire. Stunning that she became a millionaire. But for me, the more lasting legacy is that she empowered people.
Oscar award-winning actress Octavia Spencer leads an all-star cast in the new film Self-Made, streaming on Netflix March 20th. We have this Studio 5 sneak peek.
Seems like I was born to struggle. After a while, I guess I just lost hope. That's when my hair started falling out.
I'm going to help you.
My hair grew back, and so did my confidence. Maybe I could sell your product. I don't think sales is for you. Colored women will do anything to look like me, even if deep down they know they can't.
I ain't gonna let you keep beating up on yourself, yeah?
From now on, I'm doing my own hair, making my own hair grow.
Come on.
Missy, I don't take orders no more. Lincoln freed me 40 years back.
That's why I'm gonna pay you.
And that's why you're my favorite daughter-in-law.
Now, with numbers 3 and 2 complete, we have only one more story in this week's countdown. We'll get to that in just a little bit. This week's sit down comes with new music from Vertical Worship. Grace Is on Our Side is a live album, and we're sampling it with 2 members of the band, Kyle and Lauren Smith.
God of the promise, God of the future, you see beginning and end. God of the rescue, God of the breakthrough, how great is your faithfulness.
Lauren and Kyle, so good to have you here.
Well, thank you for having us. We're excited.
Now, you guys, husband and wife.
We are, yes.
Yeah,
4 years
yeah.
now.
I was reading someone say about your music, and I believe it's a member of your team, saying that 90% of the music you've done before has been about what God has done, but what you're working on now is about what God will do. Tell me about that shift and that happening.
Right. Well, shift is the right word. I think we've, you know, it's not a secret, nothing we're trying to hide. Like, you know, the church that we're from, that is home, like it's been through a lot. And there has been a shift. And God's just, He is doing a new thing. And I think, I think about every single one of the songs. I get emotional when I talk about it, but I think about every single one of the songs that is on this new album. And it's from a deeper place. It's from a place of believing God for more, believing that He isn't done yet, that He can do far more than we can ask or imagine. And I just hear so much faith through these songs. I hear so much about God's faithfulness of what He's done in the past, but what He is yet to do.
Yeah, I think there's something like special about, so in the word faith, it is built on, faith is built on, this is what God has done in the past, and so I know and I believe the things and I can see the things He's done in the past, but where faith takes you is it takes you to something new. It takes you to something where you have to trust in that. It's songs of, God, I believe this, and I'm going to believe this for the future. And that's going to be something new and fresh for our team, and we're really excited about that.
You got a favorite on there?
A few.
I know, it's hard to choose. Which one's yours?
There's this one called God of Abraham that I'm so excited about, because it just talks about you are the God of Abraham and you're in command of everything. And then it says, you've been my God, faithful through the years. I know whatever comes, you're standing still. And it's saying exactly that thing about faith. It's saying that, God, I've seen you be faithful, even all the way back to being the God of Abraham, the God of the fathers of our faith. And then saying that because I've seen you do that, then I know whatever comes, that you'll never let go, that you're going to be faithful in the future. And that, I'm very, very excited about.
I know, I love that one. My favorite is one that Jake France, he sings on this new record. It's called Not Done Yet. It's a more upbeat kind of song, and I just love that it's a song of hope. It's just when I lead it with him, my heart, it fills with hope of what God is yet to do. And then the bridge, you know, it talks about God is up to something right now.
Yes.
You know, you're doing a new thing right now, so let your glory come down. You know, you're moving mountains, you're breaking chains right now. So it's a song of hope, you know, and so that's probably my favorite on the album.
Vertical Worship's full album, Grace Is on Our Side, is available this week. You know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so as we do every week, it is time now to say it in pictures. Here's this week's Studio 5 Snapshot.
It's a royal farewell. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle bid farewell to royal life Monday, making their final engagement as senior members of the royal family and attending the annual Commonwealth service at Westminster Abbey. This look at the annual event at the church in central London is this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Coming up next.
What are you doing? How many are you doing?
Thousands.
John Rhys Davies' next big role,
I was drawn to this project because I love the character of Patrick. I think he's a fascinating modern, and he's a great man. He's the beginnings of Irish literature.
Go behind the scenes of I Am Patrick before it hits theaters.
If you want to be an attorney with a passion for serving people and for excellence, Regent University needs to be high on your list.
Regent's award-winning law school doesn't just create lawyers. We create leaders, judges, prosecutors and defense lawyers, civil litigators, and leaders in government. Ready to become a purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyer? To start your rewarding career, complete the online application, submit your transcripts, and take the law school admissions test by July.
Nutrition, exercise, essential oils, weight loss, and more. It's Healthy Living with Lori Johnson.
Talk about what's in this.
Join CBN health reporter Lori Johnson to get the latest information from today's top health experts.
This is fantastic.
Find out what you need to know to live a healthier life. Watch Healthy Living, Tuesday night at 9:30.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Millsburg Falls man, come.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes too, and so much more. Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon. It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
At number 1.
All right, guys, we've got Jeremy Camp here.
It's recording artist Jeremy Camp's real-life story of love, loss, and finding hope again.
You're going to be healed.
What if I'm not supposed to be healed?
Don't say that.
I Still Believe hits the big screen this Friday.
Everyone loves music. And so for me, if I can write lyrics that bring comfort and hope and share really what God's done in my life, how I'm unashamed in my faith because that's what got me through this.
That is number 1, and it wraps our countdown and brings us back to the big screen. Just in time for St. Patrick's Day, we return to 5th century Ireland. It's a place and time where a young bishop named Patrick leaves his home in Britain and sets sail to Ireland to bring the Christian faith to the Emerald Isle. CBN Films shares this amazing story in a new docudrama, I Am Patrick.
On, action!
To narrate in detail either the whole story of my labors or even parts of it would take a long time.
And so begins this look back at the life of St. Patrick in the film I Am Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland.
Cut! Cut! Cut!
Jared Anderson is the writer and director.
You don't have to embellish the story of St. Patrick at all. I mean, it's such a dramatic story, such a powerful story. It's just a delight to be able to have a story like that that's true.
Patrick answers God's call and travels to Ireland to deliver the gospel to the pagan country, even enduring slavery.
People get a little lost with the legends and the myths about St. Patrick, and the real man, the real St. Patrick, is far more fascinating than the legend and myth. And in fact, I think the more human Patrick that people don't really know about is really far more inspirational.
To tell that inspirational true story,
my name is Robert McCormick and I am playing young Patrick in this film.
My name is Sean T. O'Malley and I am playing Middle Patrick.
I'm John Rhys-Davies and I play the older St. Patrick.
Jared casts 3 actors to play the leading role.
I mean, when you're casting, it's like a casting nightmare to have 3 different people you're trying to cast, but eye color, facial structure, they totally work. So on action, you can just look to there.
John Rhys-Davies, best known for his roles in Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones, was initially only doing voice narration for the feature-length docudrama.
We never planned on having John Rhys Davies actually play old Patrick, but after the voiceover record, it had to be him.
I was drawn to this project because I love the character of Patrick. I think he's a fascinating modern. Every time you come and look at that extraordinary life of his, you learn something else. You get more of the feel of the man. I know a little bit about Patrick and knew it before, but actually to shoot it in the sort of context that he knew and lived in is very remarkable. Coming to Ireland wasn't like coming as a tourist to visit the lovely castles and things like that. It was coming to hell. Human sacrifice, idolatry of the worst sort, endless enslavement. It was the apotheosis of human misery. And it took a very brave and remarkable man to come back into the certain jaws of death to try and change it.
Patrick's brave and bold story is one everyone on set takes lessons from.
From an actor's point of view, the internal struggle and the conflict is really interesting because on one hand, Patrick believes that he's come here to spread God's message, but on the other hand, he's facing some very real and dangerous obstacles.
It is true that not a lot of people know the story of St. Patrick. Even myself, reading the script, I found out stuff that I didn't know before. That is really, really interesting.
And there's one more interesting star in this film, and that's the country itself.
I think it's important to film in Ireland when you're doing a movie about St. Patrick because there's nowhere else that looks like Ireland. Plus, you know, when you're reaching out to an audience about St. Patrick, to not film in Ireland is almost a slap in the face. And we've had such a great crew, great cast, I would never have wanted to film this anywhere else.
I Am Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, hits American theaters for 2 nights. It's a Fathom event, March 17th and 18th. Tickets are on sale right now. You can go to iampatrick.com for showtimes and to reserve your seats.
Coming up next, an old school love song.
For to love you to me is to live. Oh, one in a million.
Gets a remake you'll want to hear next.
Having sex before you marry is a bad idea.
Don't tell me there's no such thing as gun violence.
That just depends on your definition of when life begins.
Watch Dan and Dale tackle trending topics that test your faith on the next Faith Wire, Monday night at 9:30. The Global Lane takes you around the world, providing facts over fiction.
What might rising trade and geopolitical tensions mean for you on the home front?
With over 45 years of experience, award-winning journalist Gary Lane brings you the truth from a global angle.
What about the issue of immigration?
World news analysis you won't see anywhere else.
And it's all right here on the Global Lane.
Watch The Global Lane, Thursday night at 9:30.
Welcome back to Studio 5. It is now time to sample what's playing in my ear, and this week it's a new take on an old love song. Here's Will Downing with One in a Million.
Showed compassion and said to me, a stroke of love called you.
On that musical note, we are almost out of time for this edition of Studio 5. So let's look ahead and see what's coming up next week.
I don't like this.
I knew they were upset.
Yeah.
Pulling back the curtain on a musical film.
She'd be the perfect guest. What's her name anyway? Stargirl. My name is Stargirl.
Stargirl in our film is a young lady who really is in a place that she loves to learn.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Studio 5 shares the star power behind Stargirl.
I guess like when I heard about Stargirl, I don't know, it was just like, I felt like just the character and the story was like the perfect mixture of like maturity, but also still being really, really fun and light. And it was like my dream role.
I hope you'll join us for that and so much more next week. Now, before we go, we want to give the final word to Vertical Worship's Kyle and Lauren Smith.
A verse in Psalms that says, if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? And the opposite of that is if the foundations are not destroyed, if the foundations are shored up, then what could the wicked do? They could do nothing. And the foundation is in the Word of God. The foundation is in focusing on the Lord, and that I'm not going to trust in chariots or princes, but my trust is in the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
That's from Psalms as well. And something really special that we've seen is that when we just put our trust in the Lord, then that's something that He's the one who never fails us. But we can't be right. He's perfect. But if we put our trust in other things, then that's when we're so let down.
One thing too I would add, you know, I think sometimes in ministry, it's easy to feel alone. You know, and that is like a tool of the enemy. Is he wants you to isolate yourself.
Yeah.
And so if you are going through a difficult season, especially in ministry, you can't do it alone. We weren't ever supposed to.
Right.
You know, so don't isolate. Don't be afraid to get community around you. Find those people that you can weep with, that you can really confess to, and you've got to have that community around you.
Absolutely.
You know, and to be real with.
That's a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, I encourage you to make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.